Hello and welcome to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This is Mike1217 and this is my first Let's Play in about half a year. So excuse me if I'm a bit rusty here. For those of you who have joined the channels within this half a year of deadness where I haven't posted anything, welcome. I'm sorry there hasn't been any content here since you've joined. And I hope this video doesn't scare you away from the channel. And to those of you who had been with the channel when I was Let's Playing regularly, well, I'm glad to be back. This would probably be the only project that I do for 2014. I don't really have any other games in mind that I would like to do. This probably isn't a surprise to anyone who has been around the channel or who has even just looked at the playlists I've had for all my Let's Plays. Yeah, it's not a surprise that I'm doing this game because literally, or not literally, but almost all of my Let's Plays have been Donkey Kong Country or Zelda. Those have been the two series, like the only two series that I've been doing on my channel. There's been a few other things scattered in, but really it's just been Donkey Kong and Zelda. So I'm a little bit embarrassed that I haven't really branched out to anything else, but I just love these series so much that I have to Let's Play all the games in them. So, you know, like, when I announced my semi-retirement from Let's Playing, I said that it'd have to be the right game at the right time, and I'm in the right mood. And all those criteria have been met. I'm in the right mood. It's not really the right time because I have a final exam the day after I'm recording this, but it's such an easy exam that I don't really care. And I'm in a great mood right now, so I have been dying to start this. I've been planning on starting this for like the last 2 months, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it because I've been so busy. But now I'm finally around to do it. And yeah, let's start a new game here. This is my original file that I started when I first got the game. I actually haven't beaten the game yet, as far as like beating the main game. It says 80%, but I haven't completed the main game yet. I'm at the final boss. But it's really freaking hard and I can't beat it. And, but I've played through just about every level. I've 100%ed just about every main level. I haven't played any of the K levels though, so there is going to be some blind aspect to this LP. I do plan on doing 100%. I plan on, not getting everything, but getting game-defined 100%, which is, just beating every level, getting all the Kong letters, but not getting all the puzzle pieces. I'm gonna approach this LP the same way that I approached Donkey Kong Country Returns. So if you watch that one, this is gonna be the same way. So I'm gonna go ahead and start here. Playing on the television. Playing on the gamepad is stupid. Besides, you'd have to use the gamepad for controls, which we're gonna choose right here, I believe. I'm gonna talk about the controls when we get to gameplay, because the controls are a big subject matter of this first video. I'm going to have a cutscene here, and I usually don't talk over cutscenes, so I'm going to put a skip button for you to click if you don't want to watch it, and I will see you when we get to gameplay. And just like with the first game, just shake your way out of this plane, apparently. When I first saw that in the trailer, I thought they were like... I thought the whole story was that they were in a plane crash, and they wound up on this island. I knew somewhat about the story when I first heard about the game, and that Donkey Kong Country... Or, yeah, Donkey Kong Island was frozen. You can see in the background right there, too, which is pretty cool. They did that in the first game, too, where they showed, like, the volcano, like the last area you go to, like at the very first level. And actually, just like the first game, you can enter in the plane here. You can get a 1-up, which is traditional in Donkey Kong Country games, like the first area, and it's a 1-up right at the beginning. And you can ground pound here to make the Donkey Kong Country Returns theme play. You can even see, like, on the screens there's Donkey Kong Country Returns on the screens. Anyway, just a nice reference there. But, yeah, here we go. First Let's Play in half a year. Let's see how I do. This game, I freaking love it. However, when I first started playing it, I did not like it. So the point of this Let's Play is for me to give it a second chance from beginning to end. I started to like it about halfway through. And the reasoning for that is the controls. It's something that I was just like starting to talk about at the beginning before the cutscene. The controls are going to be a major subject of this first episode. Because, yeah, controls were the reason why I just hated the game, actually, when I first started playing it, because there are quite a bit of control options for this game. You can do the gamepad, you can do the Pro Controller, and there's two different control schemes for the Pro Controller, and I guess the gamepad too. You can control with either the control stick or the D-pad on the gamepad and Pro Controllers. So that's already two control schemes, but there's also the Wiimote, which, you know, is a control scheme from the original game, which is the one that I'm using. Where you hold the Wiimote sideways and you shake it to roll and shake it to ground pound. When you're stationary, you can ground pound, and when you're moving, you can roll. For any newcomers out there, that's how the shaking controls work. But yeah, when I first started playing, I was so excited to use traditional button controls, because that was the one like major complaint that I had about Donkey Kong Country Returns, was I wasn't a fan of the shaking controls. And I just felt they led to too many accidental deaths, especially like rolling. Like if you to try to ground pound here to get that puzzle piece, but you were moving forward like unknowingly while trying to do that, and you accidentally roll, and maybe you roll into an enemy, or you roll off the side and roll to your death. That happened quite a bit in Donkey Kong Country Returns. By the way, here's a new mechanic here. If you hold the 1 button on my control scheme. I'm not going to really try to explain all the control schemes, because again, there's so many. The other one that I didn't mention, which was another control scheme from Returns, is you can also have the nunchuck plugged into your Wiimote, and you can play it like that. That also has shaking controls, but I never liked that control scheme. So yeah, I started with the Pro Controller. I couldn't decide between control stick and D-pad, because they're both very different. Like for instance, for any control scheme that has you controlling your Kong with the control stick, there's a separate button that you have to hold down to grab things. Like for instance, if I wanted to grab this Diddy barrel here, I would have to press a different button than the one I'm holding down to run, which, with the control stick, you didn't even have a run button, they ran automatically. And I got mucus, which, again, that's a constant problem of me with Let's Playing. So, give me a second, I'm gonna pause the game, so I can get rid of this crap in my throat. Of course I get mucus in my throat in a Let's Play video. It wouldn't be a Let's Play video for me without a mucus problem. Of course that would happen. Anyway, See, now I've lost what I was talking about. I was talking about controls. They're just so different. Just in general, the controls, for all the different control schemes, they're just so different from each other. And I couldn't really find anything that was perfect. So that's really my biggest complaint about this game, is that there's no really perfect control scheme for me. That's why I didn't like it from the beginning, is that, I don't know, just for some reason I couldn't get the hang of the Pro Controller. So it's ironic that the thing I was most excited about with this game, being able to control with the traditional button controls, it turned out to be the thing that I disliked most about it when I first started playing. So eventually I switched to what I was used to from Returns, and I just switched to the Wiimote sideways. But yes, it makes some things annoying, like swimming, for instance. In order to do this move, you have to shake. That was a lot easier with the button pressing, but I've gotten used to that, so it's all good. And also, like when you're swimming, it's a little bit easier to control when you have a control stick, because it kind of controls like Rayman Origins. It's just like the way you move. And yeah, by the way, swimming is new to this game. There wasn't swimming in Returns. That was a big complaint that people had about Returns, is that there were no water levels. So yeah, there will be full-scale water levels later on, as well as small water segments like we're seeing in this level. And that's about all I have to say about the controls. The blowing mechanic was taken away. You no longer had the blowing mechanic where you duck and shook the controller to blow on things. They just found that to be, I don't know, it didn't really seem representative of Donkey Kong to be blowing on things. So they replaced that with the pulling mechanic you just saw there, but you don't have to shake to do that, you just have to hit a button. Here's another new feature in this game, the dynamic camera, which oddly enough isn't really used enough. It's not really, it's more of an aesthetic thing, but I don't know, it looks cool. I just wish it would have been used more. And we did actually see a little bit of it in the first game, but it wasn't quite as pronounced as it is in this game. And this is pretty cool at the end here. Actually, this isn't the end of the level. I think there's more. The levels in this game are a lot longer, I feel, than in the first game. What we're gonna find is there's actually a lot less stages in this game, to tell you the truth. There's more pulling. Yeah, really, like, the things that you pull out, it serves the same purpose as, like, the dandelions and crap you had to blow on in the first game. You might get, like, bananas or just something small from pulling on those little, whatever those are, those weeds that you pull out. I like that that guy just killed an enemy. I think you can break all these, so we can probably find a secret down here. But yeah, as I was saying, this game is, weirdly enough, I think it has far less levels than the first game. It has 6 worlds compared to the 8 worlds in the first game, and I believe each world has like 6 to 7 levels. So it's structured the same way as the old SNES games, so they had 6 worlds with like 6 or 7 levels per world. It's not like the first Returns game where it had 8 worlds with like tons of levels in it. So I found that to be pretty weird, but the levels, like in Return, I guess you kind of got quality over quantity. The levels are a lot more interesting in this game, and they're a lot more just creative. And a lot of times it throws you off guard. Speaking of creative, that's a creative way to get the G. So, yeah. Oh, and here's another new feature you have. Is you can see next to Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, there's like a little thing for the A button, and there's actually a meter there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the A button. That is called Kong Pao, and it will defeat all the enemies on screen and turn them into items depending on what Kong friend you're using. Yes, Diddy is not the only Kong partner we're gonna be having in this game. We'll get into that within the next few levels. The other 2 Kong characters. But yeah, Kong Pao, it basically, that meter on the left of the Donkey and Diddy icons, that fills up as you grab bananas, and once you fill that up, you'll see the A button pop up, and you can defeat all the enemies on screen to get items. And with Diddy, you get 1-ups, which are given to you like candy in this game. And we're not going to be ever worrying about game overs. Despite the fact that this game does get pretty hard, it is just about as hard as the first game. I would argue that the first game is actually harder than this one. I mean, granted, I haven't played the K levels yet. I've played a little bit of 2 of them, but I haven't completed any of them. And, I can't tell you exactly what's going to go on in those, but they are... From the 2 that I've played, they are pretty difficult. So, that should be interesting. Especially with the ones that are completely blind. I guess I'll just leave it off with that. I could play another one, but I think I'll just leave it there. And the next level we should get into another Kong buddy, so I'll be able to explain that. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next episode of Let's Play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This has been Mike1217, and I will see you then. I'm glad to be back Let's Playing!